now I just wish we had someone to just press record, because then you just flow into it.
I thought we were.
That's true.
I thought we were live.
I should have hit record.
All my jokes for
Now
the
you're right.
Kim's like, we're live now. I swear I'm funny. I swear I'm funny, you guys.
I had a list.
I had to listen. I thought we were.
Damn it. I got to go back to the notebook.
We were just talking, hanging out as friends.
Those were all my jokes I prepared.
Yeah.
Well, are we done almost? I do have things to do. No,
All right.
let's do it.
Well, Cam's on the podcast, you guys. As you can tell,
Cam.
there's his intro. Once you're a second-time guest, you just
This is
third-time guest.
Yeah.
You just
My
don't.
partner doesn't even know.
Yeah, because we had you, no, 4.
What?
I've had you 4.
No, I
think.
haven't been on 4 times. Have I?
Because we had you in the kitchen.
Kitchen.
You were OG.
Yeah.
And then, did we have you in the
Crow's
other
nest?
room? Did we have
Did
you
you
in the
ever go
crow's
to the
nest?
crow's
to try?
nest?
I don't think so. But where was my second podcast? I don't
At my
remember.
house.
Oh yeah.
At the kitchen table.
Yeah, kitchen table.
It's
I don't
right
think I
after
did the
you
other
beat trying the
I think
country
this is
quota for
3.
Doha.
That was right after that. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
that was.
I set that up and I was like, I probably shouldn't have done
Had
that.
we already had set that up before the country quota?
Maybe, because I think you guys had just gotten back from Doha, so you were also kind of mad. So everyone was
When we
mad.
took
Oh,
off.
everyone was so salty.
Yeah. You were mad because you lost in the country quota, then you were mad because then you guys lost in the qualifier, and then
Yeah.
I was just sitting there.
We lost in an even worse spot. Like you make it through the country quota, and then you lose in the qualifier, so you would lose points.
Right.
And
You
lose
were
money
worse-
because
you
you
were
traveled
worse
off. Yeah. It's like, well, you win.
That's what. Gosh, we were just talking about that. Maybe with you. We had someone on the podcast, but talking about how the best win in Sochi when I beat you and Theo actually ended up backfiring so
Yeah.
terribly.
Right.
Because then we lost, and then I got a 20-pointer.
It was the worst points match of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you about that. But like, in fairness, developmentally, it was probably the best weekend of your career, right?
High
Like
number
you
one
almost
moral
beat
win.
Argentina.
Yeah.
They were playing well.
Travis
Yeah.
just
To get in?
snuck that
No,
in.
was the first
No,
round.
we would have played.
They got in too, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They beat Germany, like Yannick Harms and whoever he was playing with.
He made it a point to bring that up.
Yeah,
Right
first
at the
thing we
beginning
talk
of the
about. First of all, we use all my jokes.
You use all your
Before we
jokes.
record.
And
His
then,
jokes are out.
Remember Sochi? Remember that? That was sick. How good did I play? I was like, we could not stop you. Adam Roberts is just like chiseling the line. I'm like, what are we doing here? That was a tough. That's a low point.
those are definitely
2 of my lowest points. You're talking about Doha? Wow. Thanks for having me, guys.
Good
You guys
job.
are amazing.
All right, well, thanks
back
for
to the
coming on the show, boosting our egos a little, and
Perfect.
I hope you got all those out of your system.
Those were literally like me and Theo's two of our worst tournaments, probably.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We got it out of the way early. That's huge.
Yeah. But I honestly think that speaks to that you can't, like, no matter what the system is, that the best teams eventually end up coming to the top. Like Kristen and Taryn, everyone's like, oh, they got to split up.
Yeah.
Give it enough time, and here they are. Like, they're the number 2 team. Like, you guys started in country quotas. Like, last time we had you on, you literally had 0 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It takes time sometimes, obviously, especially with new teams, and obviously the two are adjusting and different play styles, and everything's kind of speeding up and getting crazy out there right now. But I think, at the end of the day, if you're building with your partner and working and figuring it out, I think, the best teams will get there.
Yeah.
But like, I think the interesting thing is like creating the best team is more difficult than you think, because it's so much about chemistry, so much about working together. I was thinking about that yesterday, because just looking at like Karambula and Rangiri for example, it's like Rangiri was not on the radar for super long, because he just didn't have chemistry with any of his partners. He still like would like be making plays that you'd be super impressed with, but like the consistency and the steadiness that he has now was not there.
Yeah.
But like if you find that right guy that you can mesh with, even though like maybe they don't get along in certain ways, but clearly the way those two play volleyball together and the way they did in the last Olympics before, it just makes sense. Even if maybe those two to fight a little bit, it's like, it's that part of it is pretty fascinating to me. And you'll see like other teams team up that should be amazing on paper, but they're not. It's like,
and then you can't figure it out. You're like, why haven't you done it yet?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, it's like any sport, right? Like, look at all these super teams people are putting together.
Like the Mavericks. They get Kyrie. Like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And they're like 6-15 since Kyrie joined Dallas. They're terrible.
LeBron
They're
James,
fighting.
Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis. And they're not they're an average team. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them, Nets, everyone.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anytime you think like they're never gonna lose, that's like what you think. That's when they end up being like, it doesn't work.
They're just terrible.
That didn't work. We thought they were never gonna lose, but they're losing.
And then you get the random team that got put together at one point, years ago. That's just the best chemistry team, arguably ever. And they're just, the ownership's just, let's just keep these guys together. And they just keep running it back with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys weren't actually like pulled together as a superstar team. None of them were superstars.
Yeah. They were just, because Steph was at best an average guard.
It was like a, top 20 pick? Or was he top 10?
I think probably top 20.
Yeah.
Because he was a great college player, but he played for Liberty.
No, he played for
Or
Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liberty. Yeah. But it's small school.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he just had that one, Sweet 16 run, Elite 8 run with Davidson.
Yeah.
It was just like, who is this small guy that looks like he's drowning in his clothes? Just lighting people up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Crazy.
the Warriors are the equivalent of Adrian and Alex, where they didn't intend to, like, Adrian wasn't even getting recruited by the Italian Federation. He had to like muscle his way in there, and they just sort of ended up together.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Right.
so good,
Totally.
and they split up
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were really good immediately. Like just boom.
I remember they won that bronze medal. They beat Numador and Varenhorst somewhere.
Yeah. Might
It
have been
was
like
Porridge.
right away.
It
It
was
was like their
Porridge.
second tournament.
Yeah.
Porridge in Croatia.
Came out of the quali. You loved that spot. That was one of your favorite tournaments, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was
It's
amazing.
so nice. Dude,
Yeah.
you're like on the, Mediterranean, one of those seas, and it's
Yeah.
just like crystal clear water, warm.
Yep.
Like, you feel like, you're on the
Walk out of your hotel room, it's just you see grass
water
and then
and
beautiful
cliffs
courts
and, like grass
Oh, man.
and an old town to walk through with the cobblestone right there. It was like
Yep.
epic.
Yeah.
And then you
Stadium
take a
was
ferry.
wild.
We took a ferry across to Venice, Italy.
Oh, sick.
Like this
I didn't
is
realize it was that
not
close.
bad. It was like an hour and a half ferry or something.
Okay.
Haydn's throwing up or something. Sick. I'm in the front.
Oh, that's
Anyway, good times.
Have you guys played on the World Tour for almost the same exact amount of time?
He's been longer, I think.
We were
Quite a
talking about it a little bit. I was kind of out there a little bit in like 2010, 11, 12, like just like playing a few events. And then 13 is when Ben and I teamed up and started going full on, but that's when you started too.
Yeah,
Ben. So wasn't it?
yeah.
I swear it was
think
that
about
year.
then.
That was when you and Haydn broke out, right?
I think 13. I believe 13. I went full time AVP with Haydn, and then he and Lucena went out there for a second.
Oh, yeah. We played them at Worlds.
Because I had 0 points.
That's right.
I couldn't even
Yeah.
get out there with Haydn, and Haydn didn't have points either.
Okay.
So they went out, and then I played at the very end of the year. I played with Derek Olsen in the Open in Durban, South Africa. That was my first FIVB. Got a 5th.
Okay.
And then the next season, me and Haydn went for
That's
it.
when you go
Yeah.
win and won Berlin. And
Yeah.
that was funny when Nick and Johnny were playing together.
Yeah,
we had
that's
them in
kind
our
of a
pool
joke.
at that. It was Sturgia Blanchi,
Oh, yeah.
I think, and we were like
Were they
playing
split
them.
blocking?
Yeah, they were split blocking. We were like, we played them, and we had won. I think we might have both won one game, and we beat them like 21-9 in the first set, and then we're like up in the second, and somehow the veterans just like started chipping away at us, snuck the second set, and then they beat us in the third, and we lost the game. We were just like
they
shocked. We're like, oh man, like this is good.
Yeah.
You got
We
Theo'd before he even brought
Yeah,
the theory.
pretty much the Theo theory. We got a little, it was tough. But we ended up getting out of pool, and they didn't get out of pool because of the 21-9 that we beat them.
Oh.
So we both had one
Oh,
win
man.
or something, and then we got out. And then
Okay.
that was like our breakout tournament. For Ben and I, it was like, that was when we went, like, that was the first time we got better than a 17th ever, and we got 5th. But we almost didn't, we literally, like, we were out.
Yeah.
And then, thank goodness they had the point ratio thing, which
Yeah.
they still have. It's like every FIVB, you're like, we need to make sure we don't get blown
Yeah.
out in any sets.
I know. That third set when we started down big against Germany, thanks to me, came and he's like, hey, we need the points. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. Snap back in. And then it didn't work, but
That's what I was wondering when I was watching Trev and Theo get mopped up by Adrian and Alex in their first match. You could tell that at like 16-12 in the second, there was kind of a give up. because then they lost 21-12.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like,
Right.
I don't know
That could mess
if
you
they're
up.
No, you
thinking
give
about the points thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they ended up losing
Yeah,
on
I got
points.
I got a thinker now. I hired a thinker.
Yeah. I was like, come on, every point matters, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
That is like, I mean, it is a valuable thing to bring you back, even when you're getting, if you are getting clobbered. Like this
Yeah.
point could be a difference
yeah.
maker.
Yeah.
Oh,
It helps
100%.
keep you focused.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just get in there for one.
Yeah.
Do one good side out, one good play.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
plus,
this-
that's whatever that helps build anything, even if you're
Yeah.
getting blown out. Like, build a little confidence for the next set going in or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Well, how was it being on the court together the first time?
I mean,
Shit.
terrible. I enjoyed it. It was obviously our first two events, but you could see that there's like a tease, but there's like a bunch of. There was periods of time where I felt like, you know, we're doing things that we've been working on, what we want to do, and taking the path that we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a little bit inconsistent. The first tournament wasn't great. I struggled personally, like side out wise. I was probably a little too amped up. Not quite as prepared as I could have been as well, but
You didn't know the random
I
Frenchie
didn't-
had a 45-inch vert in sand?
did not realize that guy was really like
Monster.
ridiculous blocker. Like, that guy is going to be.
he jumps
one
higher
of the
than
best.
Dan.
Oh, for sure. He's like Mole up there, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I watched the video and he has his chest over the net.
Yeah.
But anyways, I
like
didn't
legit touching nipples to the top of the tape.
Yeah.
started that game down like 6-0 or something, and I was like getting blocked, and I was like, this guy's not that. He's shorter than me. He's not.
You're like,
And,
I'll just hit high hands.
never,
You're like, that hit his wrist.
Never really got adjusted too well after that. I was like, I swear I can get this, but then it was good. It was good learning lessons. And then I thought the second tournament we competed super hard. We're in every single match. Won
Yeah.
a crazy qualifier, which there's obviously just like incredible teams everywhere. Those Austrian teams are both really good. And then I felt like we could have a couple little things swung our way. We could have won any of those three matches.
Yeah.
If you win any of them, you could get out of pool, and we're in every game. So and then you see every team that was in our pool go like the distance.
You got a
So
a
it's
gold and a
like-
bronze in your
Yeah,
pool.
and I think,
and then Persic Schweiner got a fifth.
They like lost to Norway in 3 to go to semis. It's like, it's
Pretty good
crazy. Like what's crazy is how many good teams there are. It's
Yeah.
like, you need to be just
You
like
don't look at any bad pool. You don't like, oh, there's a bad pool.
No.
Unless they get maybe the
host
the
Mexico.
host
That's it.
draw. Yeah.
it's like that's your one pool that you have a chance.
And it's
Or
not
whatever.
like that's a layup. Totally.
it's
No,
not.
they're good. Like Bergen's been around forever.
Around for so long.
Guys
Yeah.
been
You never know what he's gonna
journeyman.
bring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I felt like the second tournament was a little more of me having little lapses. So the first one, he kind of fell out of his rhythm. Second one, I fell out of mine at times. And we're both like not okay with that happening for ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay if our partner does that, but it's not okay if we do it kind of thing. So now we're just hoping that I snap it back together and then he keeps it snapped together and we go from there. But there's a lot of communication and like little things like where do you want it during this time, and you know, he's getting used to my rhythm at the net and how I move, which is a lot different than Theo.
Right.
And I mean, Kane moving behind me it's totally different than Trevor moving behind me, where I'm
Right.
like, oh damn it, and then Kane's there, he's like, I'm here. I'm like, oh jeez, moving a little faster than Grandpa Crab.
Yeah.
It's just totally different styles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting because the potential feels like it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's like potential doesn't get you a good finish.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. We're really where we're at, which is two pretty poor finishes. You know, obviously qualifying for an Elite 16 isn't. It's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
So we'll take a little victory there, but that's just what we're trying to accomplish is like something really difficult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting. Biggest thing now is just like staying healthy and getting through the grind of the whole season and like just sticking to our guns in terms of like the work we put in.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that you probably left Tepic with something of a sour taste in your mouth, even though those were two good qualifier wins, especially the second one. Man, Pristhouse and Seidel
They're tough.
freaking good. Pristaus is so good.
Dude, he's so physical.
I
You
knew that
scoop
team
on
would
him
be
at like
better.
13s or 12, 13
that
or
was
something.
huge.
I was like, damn.
I was like, really? Right in my lap right now? Thank you. Like, come on, just
Seriously.
set the ball.
Yeah.
Be clean.
Dude, that was like,
set
you
the
just
ball.
kind of felt it. You just like, we got to stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. It's going to turn.
Yeah.
So we're down like 1 or 2 the whole time. We were down 1 or 2 in the second set the whole time.
Yeah.
And then we made some, I don't even remember what happened, but we made some big plays right at the end of the second. And then if you can do that as a team, just kind of stick with it, stay in it. Eventually someone's going to crack on the 4 guys.
Because
So
sometimes you feel like you're like, I'm playing at a world class level. Like, how are we not winning this set? And if you let that frustrate you, that's when you can lose, because the margin of error is so small now.
Yeah.
But you kind of got to expect to be in those tight situations. We're playing great, so are they. Great. Like, that's what we signed up for. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And then really getting confident in those moments and like being fine being in those tight situations, because you just need that little edge to push you over, and that'll turn 4 or 5 matches throughout the season, which brings you from 20th in the world to 10th or
Right.
8th, which is where we want to be, top 8. So yeah, I think we're kind of looking at it like trying to keep the highs and lows the same, like look at them similar. Obviously we've only had lows so far, but it's like back to work every time, just back to work. Even if we go win an event, it's going to be huge for us, our careers, what we're trying to accomplish, but back to work.
Yeah.
Like, so we'll just kind of stay steady with that.
Yeah. And I mean, your lows were higher in Tepic. You lost better.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You played,
Which is hard.
Czechs really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Went to 3 with Sweden, went to 3 with Germany. And I thought you guys did a really good job responding, because like the second half of the first set was one of the worst stretches of side out I've seen you have in a while.
Yeah,
and then you
for
come
sure.
back and win the second, and you smashed them.
Yeah.
Like
I
that,
know.
that's a
What
good
were we-
response.
what were we
Sweden?
up?
Yeah, you're up 12-8.
12
And then
in
the second
first.
set, I started down 2-0 with 2 like
Yeah.
jumbo, perfect. And then
No,
it
that was the
sailed
third
out.
set, right?
Oh, sorry, the third set, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I got my rhythm back.
Yeah.
And then third set, I had read it perfectly, saw him break, just a deep angle, goes a foot out. Like,
Yeah.
what? All right, next. Oh, sharp cutties there in the net. Like, what? Really try? Like, is this really how we're going to do it? And then we were kind of down 2 the whole set, right?
Well, we were down, unfortunately,
Even
6-2
more?
instead of 5-3, but
Oh.
we will need to get into that.
Yeah, see, I
And
don't
ask
ever
for
know
a
the
yellow
score,
card.
but
Yeah, but yellow card, that's a good souvenir to come home with. It only matters if it's red.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, the Reds hurt, especially when the prize
Seriously.
money is terrible and they like fine you more than they'll pay you.
Yeah.
Wait, you get fined for a red card?
Yeah, I got fined for
Do
a
you?
red card.
What?
Oh, really? I thought you
Only
just
if you
like
kick a
500
ball out
bucks.
of the stadium or something from a red card, I thought.
No, I got
Really?
fined.
Wow, good to know.
Yeah,
It was
take
pretty
it
funny.
straight
yellow.
out of your prize money. Like what prize money?
You're like, you owe us.
Yeah, your prize money was $500, and we're gonna charge you $250 or $750
After taxes, you are down a lot. Yeah, it was funny. I was like talking to Jameson McKibben yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the AVP Media Day, and he's like, because he saw the yellow card thing. He's like, how many yellow cards? Like, do you get yellow cards very often? And I was like, but I remember like when I was younger, I used to get yellow cards all the time. But then I realized that like in the last couple of years, people have just been watching me play with Theo, and I've just been like a robot.
Yeah.
Just like not showing emotion and not trying to get too fired up or too whatever.
Right.
Which was like our style, which worked for us.
Yeah.
But I'm showing a little more flair now, and like Tri brings a little more energy, so it's kind of fun to get in there a little bit. But
Yeah.
in that Sweden game, I should have been red carded 100%. Like I talked to him for a full minute, and I
Yeah.
was,
I was
and you were
shocked.
yelling, I was yelling. It's like at this point, like why are you not giving us cards? Like
Right.
we're so angry, like we know you're making the wrong decision, and we're pretty mad. And then
Yeah.
there was like that one small little Instagram clip, but it was like a long time of talking.
Do you
Yeah.
think that he knew he made a mistake,
Yes.
and that's why he
Well,
was letting it?
I know he did because he knows how upset we were.
Yeah.
You could see when someone's that upset and they're like, we were both right beside the ball as we saw it land out. Like,
Yeah.
we had the 2 best
was
views of
laying on
anyone in the
top
whole
of it.
stadium.
Right.
And just obviously ran into the line and pushed the line after the fact.
Right.
But I talked to the ref after the game and he apologized and I told him to watch the video and he actually let me explain the situation to him He's like, I was like, because here's what happened from our point of view.
Right.
And he gave me like the full few minutes to tell him everything. And then after he was like, I'm sorry, like I didn't know that was what you were trying to say to me. But I'm like,
because he wouldn't
well,
listen.
I'm like, that's the frustrating part, is that like I was talking to you when you're in the stand and you're just not listening.
Yeah.
It's like, if you would just listen to what I was saying, check the actual line, because the line was completely bowed out. That's frustrating as a player. Cause
Yeah.
I think the refs should listen a little bit. Like, we're actually trying to help. Majority of the time, we're not like flopping or doing soccer player moves. Like we won't call our own touches. Like, let's be honest. But we're not gonna like. I was gonna drop a name of someone who does that, but like we're not gonna like touch it and then freak out and like throw a hissy fit when we know we touched it.
Right.
We're just
talking
like,
about
no, damn it, you caught me. Huh?
You talking about Jake?
Jake was a pro at that.
Oh, Jake,
was so good at
Jake
that.
was sneaky.
Yeah.
We don't
He's
need
like,
to get it. We
"You
don't
did
need to go
touch that."
there.
He's like, no. We're like, I can't wait to watch this on the video later.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, he would admit it. He loved, like, he was all.
Oh, yeah.
It's like whatever, but
I think you just, I mean, yeah, you don't flop and sell it, like go out of your way. If
Yeah.
they miss the call, you're not gonna. So like, I'm not gonna call it. That's not my job.
Would you?
But you're not gonna be like fully like, oh no, are you kidding me?
Did you watch the women's finals?
No, did that happen?
Third set, I think Kelly and Sarah were up maybe around 9-6. And Patricia chops one up, potentially over Kelly, potentially off of Kelly. Kelly just starts walking back, and no call, no touch. And she just walks back to the service line. And Anna Patricia just like got this big Anna Patricia wide-eyed look at her. And Kelly was like, didn't touch it. Didn't try to sell it. That's it.
Yeah.
Didn't try to sell it.
Yeah, that's not my job.
And I was on the call with Simon, and Simon was like, the burden is not on the player
Exactly.
No.
to call that. And right after the match, Anna Patricia and Duda like right up to Kelly, and we're asking her about it.
Yeah, go for it, and I'll tell you that I touched it. I was like, I was playing Krasilnikov in Cancun.
Yeah.
He's like at the net, like hanging on the net. Bourne! And I'm like walking back slowly, and I won't turn around, and I'm going to get the ball, and then I'm dusting the ball off. He's trying to, and I won't make eye contact with him. Bourne, you know you touched it. I'm like, yeah, I did, but I'm not going to call it.
It's not your call.
But I'm not going to sprint to the ref right now and like freak out. But yeah,
it's a tough part. Yeah,
You see
it's
some
all
refs,
sports.
there's just like, they're so defensive, and they're just like, do not talk to me. They like look forward and they like point at you and like card right away. It's like, dude, that's not the right way to go about this.
Yeah.
You need to at least hear
Yeah,
the initial like argument.
yeah.
Like if this guy would have just listened, oh, you fell on the line? Okay, let me go look if the line's moved.
Yeah.
Literally, the person just went to the line after, shook it, put it back in
Snapped
place, and boom, it was another.
And I could hear you saying it because they have mics now pointed at between the player and the ref. So when we're commentating, we're told to just be quiet and let the argument play out. And you were just like, the line's bowed out. Like the line is bowed out.
I should have just moved
Kept
it.
saying it
I heard
louder
it.
and louder. He's like, the line is bowed out. He's like, tweet. I'm like, the line. Just getting louder and louder. He's like, you won't listen to me. Why aren't you listening?
I don't know why the linesman doesn't, like, wouldn't you just go to the linesman and be like, oh, you were staring at it, and this is your job?
Yeah.
Hey, what happened? And then they tell
He
you.
called it out immediately. The linesman called it out.
Yeah.
It was-
I'm convinced though that's like the lines judges don't know what
Yeah.
Sometimes
up and
they
down.
freak
Like
out.
sometimes I'll see a ball, it'll land middle of the court, and the guy's like,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
They're
Hold
just
on.
there. They're just there to make it look cool.
Yeah,
Like, it's like,
Kristen and Taryn were cracking up because now that you have the challenge thing where they come down and look at the ball mark, and Taryn's like, every time we've challenged, the guy's shown a different mark than the actual mark, and she goes, "Can we challenge the mark that he just showed?"
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
challenge the challenge.
But that's sports.
There was a few, or
That
like
is.
some of the teams that were like, kept bringing it up off the court of like, man, these like, we're dedicated, we're full time, this is our job, but the refs are part time and like half-assing it kind of thing, which I don't think it's on the refs necessarily. I just think that's they're probably not getting paid enough to actually like be super elite or as elite as they possibly can be.
Yeah.
At least that's the vibe I got. I don't know if that's even true, but you do hear a lot right now of like people
Yeah.
being frustrated with the reffing.
with the last like year and a half with all the changes and then like the hand setting tournaments and then like when Stad, like everybody just got called on like a million
I think it's
hands.
been really hard on
why
the
is it so
refs, actually,
inconsistent?
because of that. Like I would not
it's hard for
wanna be a ref.
both.
Right.
Hard on the refs, hard on the players because there's just not a lot of
Yeah,
consistency.
like the perfect set hand set where it's a little slower, and they call it, and you're like, okay, like I get we're not supposed to like lift nowadays, but like the stereotypical just perfect beach volleyball set, and that gets called, and then there's like the flick spinner that's fine. I'm just like,
I felt
are we
bad.
there yet? Are
Man,
we all the way there yet? Like what?
Watching Julia Scholes and Betsy play Sponsel and Therese, Julia got called like 4 or 5 times on a lift.
Really?
And they were all like they came out perfect, but Julia, it's tough because she has that really wide. Like when she's going to hand set, she gets really wide.
She takes it pretty low too.
She takes it pretty low and slow, and I've noticed now there's a consistent pattern among the refs themselves where some refs are quick on the trigger.
Yeah.
And I see I think it's the Puerto Rican ref. I'm like, Julia, watch out.
Yeah, don't be quick.
Speed it up.
Yeah.
Dude, I noticed too, like, I have never gotten called if I take it really low and I like feel it low, I'm like, uh-oh. And I just let it go and get my hands off it don't follow through at all, and they don't call it.
Yeah.
So it's literally like hand time with your hands on the ball. But like if you catch it in this low, let's say by your nose, and you follow through all the way through and it's all one direction, that should be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is necessarily. Like if I only do like keep my hands on it like half that distance, then they're cool with it.
Yeah.
But if I catch it higher and do it, it's okay. So that's just my new thing. Is like if it's deeper, just get my hands off of it.
Yeah. Well, you have fast hands anyway.
I guess.
You only get
I
called
don't
on
know.
lifts if you're like
my
running
hands
off the
have
court.
Definitely changed over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll huck some crazy ones nowadays.
Oh man, the one you had against
You called it where it was like pretty bad.
Avengro and Arthur.
Oh, that one, yeah.
You had it lined
Well, that's
up.
'cause
and
I
then maybe
overran it.
A gust or something
Yeah.
brought it back. Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, when it gets over your head here, you can't like dish it anymore. So you have to like hope that the flick comes out clean, and it did not.
Oh, that's funny.
Definitely wasn't trying to argue that one. I don't know how I overran that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it been? Just because like building a new team, everything is so fresh. Like it's the first time you've done it in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because you and Trev, like it was almost accidental that you guys played together. You came back. Like
Well, that was
Trev-
a temporary partnership, right? We just played for the last few events of the year. And it was like, you and Mayor aren't winning. Mayor's retiring. Let's just play together.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, here we go, this is our partnership kind of moment. It's refreshing. I just think, well, like what I said the whole time is like, change is difficult but fun. You know, changing things up no matter who it is. If it's your best friend with you, hanging out with the same person all the time can get a little boring, right?
Yeah.
And having a new presence, energy around came likes the style of work that I like to put in. Like I didn't even realize that is so similar. Like we both like to get after it. Like Mikkel's is like right up both our alley. Like I've never like suggested something like, don't you think we should do this? And he's been like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to chill.
Yeah.
He's always on board. So I think that's pretty fun for me. And when I was at Haydn, obviously he's down for stuff, but he was 45. He's like doing things his way. Everything was his way. And then with Trev, he's going to do things a little differently too. And then now Kame's like on board with kind of how I go about things. So that's kind of just fun energy.
Yeah.
To be around.
I like that we've created like a team. We have kind of a group with coach, physio, everything
we
around
like
us.
5 or 6 people who are like legitimately on our team trying to help us
Like
do what we
Mikhail,
want to
just
do.
like he's all in. He's like texting us before every game, just
He
fired up.
hates our opponents.
Yeah,
Like,
just like it's just like nice to have that like vibe of like we're doing this and we're going and we're like we're gonna have ups and downs and we're gonna just keep at it and keep working. We've got our we meet several times a week. We've got our sports psych video. We're doing everything in like to me, it's like I feel like a pro this year. Like we're doing it like how we should be. We're fully in. Like we're taking care of everything we need to take care of. And I think it's refreshing for me too. It's like we're both really accountable, I think. And we, like, for example, those first two tournaments, it's like, instead of like, I struggled in the first tournament, straight up, like right after the tournament we met, and I was just like, I wasn't there all the way. Like it wasn't, that's on me. I need to sort something out here and figure it out. And I felt quite good in the second tournament. And then like, he didn't feel quite at the level where he's normally at. And so we're addressing issues like immediately, rather than being like, oh, like whatever, we lost, like we'll just figure out the next time. It's like, it's easy to do that in beach volleyball, just kind of like, oh, whatever, like, move on.
Right.
And hopefully next time goes better. But instead of, I think it's a sign of good things to come, because we want to nip it right away, figure it out. And we don't have a problem bringing stuff up like that. And our coach is cool with it, and Leandro, and then even Mikhail, like he'll bring stuff up like, what with the body, like why was this not helping you inside out or whatever. And so like to have that system is pretty cool. And I think long term, that's for us what's going to pay off.
Yeah.
And like you see with all the best teams in the world, it's not like one team's dominant besides Norway and Sweden now. Like there's literally, to me, it's two teams. Everyone else is like, I wouldn't be surprised to see any of the other teams drop into the qualifier of an Elite 16.
Yeah.
I'm not even, for me, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if any other team.
Right. Like George and Andre
had a bad week or had a bad month, and they're in the qualies. George Andre, the other Brazilians.
Borman's the Gruder in the quali, right?
Yeah.
Itapema.
They're pretty gnarly.
Samoilovs.
But Samoilovs and Pence can't even get into a tournament like right now.
Yeah. They're like mid seed in a challenge qualifier.
Right.
Yeah. But like, it just goes to show how much this Olympic run is going to be about like riding. There's going to be waves. There's going to be like 1 month or like a few tournaments where we play amazing. Other ones where we're figuring, right. The first couple we've been figuring it out a little bit, which to me, it's a new team, and we've taken big steps in certain areas between the first and the second tournament even. So, we're not happy. We, like you said, we're like, it was a tough first couple tournaments, but optimism is there for me. And I like knowing that no matter what happens in the next year and a half, like we are doing the things that we both feel need to be doing. So like win or lose, it's like, to me, it's like, if we win, that's gravy. It's awesome. I'm doing the way that I want to do it. It's not going to be like, oh, we lost, but I regret not doing this and this and this. It's like, I mean, we're doing everything. I feel like that's the way.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as we're kind of going off a little bit, it's awesome that I have a guy that's bringing you back in if you need it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to get lazy. We're not going to, and that's just, we have our core set of values, and we work on that kind of stuff with our sports psych and with our whole team. So it's exciting for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead, try.
Well, there's like, when you go all in and you figure out like, what's the best way that I can go about my business, and then you execute on that, it's scary because you're like, well, this is the best I got. So like whatever happens, I got to take full ultimate accountability on. There's no excuses.
Yep.
But at the same time, that's super freeing. Just being okay with like, hey, this is me. This is what I got. I'm going all in. I'm willing to admit it. There's not going to be any excuses. I'm going to own every loss, and I'm going to own the crap out of every win. I think it's freeing, but it's kind of a scary thing to do. And I think naturally sometimes people can create those buffers for themselves so that there's excuses built in case things go wrong. And we're both kind of just okay with like, screw it. If we're going to fail, we're going to fail big, real big. And I don't know, that's a little dramatic, but it feels more freeing actually after you have all that stuff in place. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, because you'll never, like, it's not like you're going to look back at La Paz and be like, damn it, if we would have trained a little harder. Like, you trained, like you did everything you needed to do. Whereas I'll look back at, like in Miami, where with the kid coming and everything, it was like half training. It's like, well, after Miami, I'm not going to compete for like 2 months. So
yeah, exactly.
Like, and then we just bomb out first round of the qualifier.
Yeah.
Maybe I probably should have taken that more serious.
Yeah. What's harder, like in in the long run, looking back and wondering what you could have done, or
Right.
looking back and be like, cool, that's what I had.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's going to be a lot easier to just look back and be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I played. That's where I was at.
There's no what
I'm
if.
going to walk away. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I loved when we were chatting with Julia Scholes. She goes, I'm going to try to make the Olympics, and I'm going to try my hardest, but if I don't make it, and I know I tried my hardest, then
Right.
cool. That's
Right.
as high as I got. That's
Right.
as good as
Yeah.
I can be.
Yeah.
And there is a freeing piece to that.
Totally.
We've probably all had that feeling where I for sure have, where it's like you lose a tournament or you come up short and you have like what you just said, like, what if I would have trained harder? What if, and that's to me the way worse feeling than losing.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's like you lose and then you're like, man, I should have trained harder. I should have taken care of my shoulder. Like, you know, I wasn't doing my physio. I wasn't doing this and that. Like that to me is like the worst feeling. As an athlete,
they both
competitor, it's
hurt.
like, that's,
Yeah.
that's,
They both hurt extremely bad because when you try so hard and you're like, really, that's all I got, and we just got dead last. Like what? But one of them has a sense of like embarrassment to it. Like when you're having that conversation between you and you, you're like, I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't. At least for me, it was like,
Yeah.
I let myself down a little. Whereas if you lose, you're like, that's embarrassing. Like that's not where I think that I'm at or where we're at. But I'm good with me. Like I have no blame on myself or no regrets. So it's just different in different way. I don't know.
Well, at the end of the day,
Both-
your
you're
opinion
gonna
of yourself
suffer.
is the only thing that matters.
You're gonna suffer with losses though.
in life.
Yeah, no,
Are you happy?
100%.
Good. That's
Like,
what we want, right?
So if you're at peace with your effort, that's really, I mean,
Yeah,
Totally.
100%.
you'll sleep at night on that.
Right, and
Yep.
sleep is important throughout a season.
Yes, it is.
The most
You
important.
were about to find that out, my
That's
friend.
why we take.
Well, yeah.
That's why we take these new sleep.
Well,
These,
What do we got
Since you
here?
brought it up,
let me just. What's on my hat?
that's why we
here?
have blocks.
Blocks Nutrition.
No,
We
I
just,
do.
We're actually official with them starting tomorrow, or sorry, April 1st.
Nice.
We've signed.
This
but
will be up by now.
our
We weren't
contract
official
starts April
before that?
1st.
I didn't even know
mean,
that.
we are. We've been taking their products for about a month. But
Yeah. What do we have in
actually,
here?
it's super cool. Like I mean, I've always we all know most of us are all on top of our supplements and that whole game. Like we want everything catered to ourselves. And this year, Kamer had a contact and we partnered up with this company Blocks, where that's literally what they do is they cater supplements to the individuals. And so for me, it was like, okay, well, let's see what supplements they have. Oh, everything I take plus more. Like this is amazing.
All
and then
NSF
and then we
certified.
have one of the guys, one of the co-founders, who's a scientist, and he like breaks down our body fat. What was it? Body fat composition test to see
blood
Sweet.
test,
Like
what
blood
he
work?
needs. Yeah, he looked
Oh,
at the
money.
blood work, see what I need, see what he needs based on our body compositions, but the company actually does that for the everyday person as well by doing like these online quizzes.
Yeah.
And then they build like the supplement plan for you. So it's pretty rad. Like for an athlete, like this is huge for us to have this, not just like the expenses of buying all these supplements.
Right.
That's pretty big too, but like having the right stuff at the right times when we're breaking ourselves down so often. Traveling, that's the biggest thing, right? Like when you're at home eating right and eating everything's perfect, okay, you don't need a supplement quite as much. But when you're traveling and like breaking yourself down and switching time zones, that's when this supplementing comes in huge. And it already has. And we haven't even broken our time zone really besides Miami. And I'm already just like, wow, this is major.
Totally. I loved the guys' names are Phil and Nick.
Yeah.
So Phil's the scientist, and we go to San Diego and we get like all our blood tests and all of our body composition, but like he's talking in a different language to us and like looking at like the composition of the body, and he's just like, well, there's like an imbalance between like your composition of this part of your body, like your hip compared to like your bicep.
Dude, it's
like
yeah.
that, because there's a discrepancy here. He's like, I automatically already know you need more magnesium in your diet, and maybe it's not, I don't know what it is,
From
but-
a fat fold test
from a
or
fat
whatever.
fold test. So he's like, he's
Yeah.
adding that into my diet, and then like there's a whole list of things.
Yeah.
I've got a pretty strict thing I'm doing now, but it's next level stuff, and I love it. I think like I've already been on it for a month, and I've honestly slept better this last month. Like my body, he's like, because if you're balancing everything out, you'll be able to sleep better, and everything kind of all your body works together, right? And it's been obvious to me that's already kind of helping me energy levels, sleep, and all that stuff. Anyways,
Yeah,
plug it in
so
pretty
I mean,
good right
think
now.
about like what we were saying earlier. Like we tried to put together the most professional team, like the ideal team we could possibly do, and this kind of just fell in our lap too.
Mhm.
So now we have, I mean, I guess you could say nutritionist / supplementist.
Yep.
Like
Literally
supplement
just
drug
Get
dealers.
it in your
scientists.
pocket.
And we have our pocket drug dealers.
Cut that out.
But like, yeah, my point being, like, we're really checking all the boxes. Like, what excuses do we have after having this kind of team around us? you
Yeah.
know?
Totally.
And traveling together for the first time is always an experience too.
Yeah.
We're just like you spend time.
I'm afraid I've been a
all
little
together.
bit luggage. Like, he's learning how slow I am with all the
He's on Hawaii time.
the team
He's
manager.
walking slow. Where are we? I'm like, Try, is this really how fast you walk? Like, this is your speed? We go like 3 miles per hour faster. Like we're like our game starts.
Hey,
in
we're
12
mindful walking, bro.
minutes. Yeah. No, it's good for me. It slows me down a little bit. I love the Hawaii lifestyle, so it's like.
Yeah,
But
I haven't been on top of the shuttles and hotels and stuff. I feel a little bad about that so far because he's just so on it.
I'm
just
team
like,
mom
it's
for
so
sure.
good.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
It's like someone's got to do
Everyone
it.
knows their
appreciate
role.
it.
That's
Yeah.
part of building a new team is knowing what everyone's role
Yeah.
is. And you're the shuttle. You're probably the practice setup guy. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to make our coach do a lot of that
what
stuff.
coach? He didn't come on the road with
Leandro.
us.
Leandro was in Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in
exactly.
Miami. He'll be getting out there soon, hopefully. But yeah,
We'll see.
it's, coaches are huge, but
You guys on your own in Itapema?
Yeah,
yeah,
we're not bringing our Brazilian to
I
Brazil.
don't know. I was like, damn.
He's still got the green card's got to come through.
Yeah.
if
Damn.
the green card people are listening,
Please
send that.
He's good.
Let's expedite that now.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're doing Itapema, flying back for New
NOLA.
Orleans,
Yeah.
and then flying back to Uberlândia.
Yeah, I was just talking with
Woo.
Trev about it today. I didn't realize how many teams are going to be missing.
5,
New
I
Orleans?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that are playing
Like all the top
Sakurama.
5
Yeah.
besides us.
I think the only
really?
international, quote unquote, international team.
Tim and Kyle will be there.
Tim and Kyle are they're in New Orleans. Evan and Logie are staying.
They have
and
to, right?
Lila and Paul. Yeah,
Whoa.
that's where like all
Who's
Evan's
Phil playing
sponsors
with?
are. I think Avery.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Phil and Avery.
Yeah. And then Troy with Billy Allen.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Be a fun team.
Yeah. Well, it'd be
Yeah.
good.
It's fun. I think Troy's just gonna like play with someone new. Pretty
Yeah.
much every
He's gonna
tournament.
do the Phil.
Yeah.
That's like it's like, oh, that tournament's easier. But for me, when I heard that, I was like, damn, that's a lot more pressure now. Like we're clearly the 1 seed there.
Yeah.
But
That'll be good.
perfect.
It'll be fun to play
That's what we
AVP
signed
though.
up for.
I've never played NOLA either.
Oh really?
And I've heard a
Me
lot
neither.
about Coconut Creek, and I think I'm bringing
Coconut
the sunshine
Beach.
this
Coconut
year.
Creek.
Coconut Creek's Florida,
it's a creek
right?
full of coconuts.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this creek.
Literally, you just drink the water in the creek, right?
Sorry,
Coconut-
no,
Well, if it
people.
rains enough, there are little creeks that will
See?
run through Coconut Beach.
Every time,
Technically.
every year when I'm not there, I look at photos and it just looks like a creek. So,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Coconut Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
You played New Orleans, haven't you? No, both of them. It's a fun spot.
I've
They haven't
played,
been there for a few years, right?
I've played Bachelor Party on the, what do you call that street? Bourbon?
Oh, Bourbon.
I've played that.
That's a fun game to play.
That was fun.
Bachelor party on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Hand grenades.
Pouring things into people's mouths off the balcony. That's the one thing I remember. Like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's some serious travel though. Brazil,
Yeah.
US,
But
Brazil.
there's like
Yeah.
a week.
then you have, like, a
there's
weird
like some
week
time
gap.
in between.
yeah,
So it's like we could have been. Otherwise, it's like an entire month in Brazil.
yeah,
Which would have been cool, but I think it's important for us to get on the AVP.
yeah.
It's important for us to like mix it up a little bit. Plus, we got kids, and it's there's a long season.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of challengers. There's going to be a lot of good opportunities to compete. And talking to our coach, he thought this was the best plan, and
Yeah.
we're going to trust we're trusting what we're doing and going with it. So
Yeah, I think it's a lot of travel, but it's also having a whole month gone in the beginning of the year. That takes drains you a little,
Yeah.
being gone for
Yeah.
a whole month. And the travel definitely drains you too, but we're going to be able to be home for a few days after Itapema, then a few days after New Orleans. So having that broken up, being able to see especially with kids,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just think mentally that's going to be nice for us,
Mhm.
even though we're going to be jet lagged the whole time.
Not too bad though. Brazil's just
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
weird
It's 5
because
hours,
it's
I
like
think.
so far south, but it's just a little bit over.
Yeah.
No,
only
it's
4 or
further
5
than
hours.
it's an hour past East Coast time.
Is it?
Maybe not Itapema, but yeah, like Rio is.
Okay. Because
Isn't
when I
that
was
weird?
in Itapema, I think it was east. But I don't know where we were
Yeah.
on daylight savings.
Yeah, so Itapema's could probably be East Coast time. But
Yeah.
when I picture it, I think of Brazil being like maybe like in the middle of America, like
Right.
equivalent. But like Rio is like an hour. It's like 4 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Easier
though.
than going to like Doha.
Yeah, that's the worst.
If you were
What is
like
that,
Doha,
10?
New Orleans, Doha, it's like dang,
Doha's what, 10 or 11?
something
12?
big. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's a long flight.
No, that
Brazil's
would
not
not
too
have.
bad.
We wouldn't have done that. I don't think we would have gone for that.
No.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, and I'm also bringing the family to New Orleans. So
Nice.
for me, like rather than being gone for a month, now I'm with my family half that month.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a big difference to start off a year. Like we're probably gonna have to go on little month longers at some point, but
Well, in like June, things are gonna get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But like health wise too, like we need to make sure that we're like taking care of ourselves, and we're not like the super young team on tour anymore.
Yeah,
So
totally.
we're like, we need to make sure we're with our team, and like we find a lot of value in being around and getting stronger. And yeah, if that means we got to travel a little bit more here and there, I think it's better overall for the health.
it is weird that we like jumped straight to the top of like with all the teams that left the last 2 years. We're just boom, oldest
Yeah.
team. Is Theo older than you?
Actually, they're older than us, I think.
Theo
Or
and
wait.
Trev?
Yeah, Theo's a year older than me.
Okay, yeah. Trev's like 3 months younger than me.
So we've got him easy.
We're the youngins.
We got him.
Dude, it's so
But
funny.
it's weird being the old veterans now.
I still look at you
instantly.
as like the up and coming blocker.
That's how I looked at myself until recently.
Yep.
I was like, wait, what?
Nope.
I'm
And
not
now
that
I'm
guy.
looking
It's
at
crazy
it,
how that happens.
especially after watching you guys play Sweden. I was like,
Oh, you should have
man,
seen.
Try looks like a grown man.
I had that same thought warming up.
Warming up, they're just like bouncing balls.
Ba-bong,
I was
We're
like,
like,
okay, when's this knee gonna get?
Get it going here.
Yeah,
And like,
they're
it's
just
funny
running
'cause they're
everywhere,
just-
Yahtseeing balls.
It's like classic. Like I'm just like, whoa, these guys look amazing in the warm ups. And then
Yeah.
we're just like, boom, point. We're up 12-8. And
Yeah.
obviously they beat us and played awesome, but like warm ups
No,
don't.
they didn't
matter.
play that.
Yeah. But man, after
No, I beat us actually.
after Sweden won their semifinal, because they'd played a lot of matches. You know, they played in La Paz, came over, played a lot of matches, got to the semifinal. I figured, like most athletes post-match interviews, they're like, yeah, like we played good, glad we got out of there. And Amon's like, yeah, when can we play again? I'm ready.
Dude,
Delaney was
he
like,
looks like that. He looks like he loves being out there.
Yeah.
Just like, send me over here. Bah! Send me over here. Woohoo! Like, this
Yeah.
is great. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
the Red Bull sponsorship is
Yeah. Need another Red Bull. Give me a Red Bull.
They are drinking it.
Dude, like I'm wondering that team. We should keep track. Obviously, they started when they were 19, like hardcore jump setting every ball. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wondering how long they're gonna last
I
before
wonder
their
what their
knees blow
jump
up.
their
Yeah.
jump counts.
Like they're gonna be
are.
at double of everyone.
yeah.
So it's like, are they gonna get to 28 and be like, I'm done, or are they gonna play till they're like,
Dude, and I even took
mid-30s?
2 years off from like 28 to 30.
Yeah. Because
We
you look
only
at
have so many jumps in ourselves. Everybody only has so
yeah.
many.
Because I look
Yeah,
at
well, some people have a lot more jumps.
Yeah.
Well, I was
I
thinking
look
about
at
LeBron
Cantor.
James. Like,
Yeah.
he's still dropping like 30,
Seriously.
averaging. Freaking
But
insane.
basketball players hardly ever max jump though. Those are mostly like 50 to 60 percenters, where
Right.
every block
Yeah, you
is a
can't
max
not
jump.
max jump,
Like Helvig is max jumping. Every time?
What do you think that they're jump setting? Do you think they're max jumping every time, or do you think it's like an 80%?
I wouldn't say
'cause
that's
it's hard to-
max.
I think
But it's
Amon,
also like you're jumping, floating in the air, and then you're using like it's like a lot of energy.
I think Amon is close to maxing.
Yeah,
Helvig is I think a little bit more controlled,
yeah.
but Amon, like when he's hitting it, I'm like, I mean that is
He's got
a
a
big
whip.
jump. Holy cow!
Yeah, he flies.
Like to option from the right side and consistently just like hit sharp angle the
Yeah.
other way is like nobody digs that because they're like, I don't think you can do that, and then like I have to literally sit on the line to get you.
That's
But you're
true,
coming
yeah.
from the right side.
Yeah.
It's like
That
how is
is a
his
gnarly
shoulder going to
hit.
not
Yeah.
fall off at some point too?
And I think it's crazy. I love watching other teams try to do it. Like
Yeah.
a lot of other right siders
Yeah.
now trying to do that.
Like, we need
like
to
you
do this.
can't out Sweden.
No.
Like don't fall
No.
into the trap.
Don't try
Yeah.
the pokey sets and all that.
Yeah. I'm like a bunch of teams out here I'm practicing, they're running all these jump sets. And I'm like, you're siding
Yeah,
out
Sean
probably like 60%, normal, just straight up and down setting, and you bring it down by about 40% when you're trying that stuff, just making errors, but it looks awesome when it works.
One time.
But it's still worth one.
Yeah.
But you need the
I want to know, what I want to know is like Razzie, their coach, who like invented this basically, I think.
Yeah.
Like what was I kind of want to just know, like pick his brain someday, like what the inspiration was and like when that happened and like how long they've been training this.
Yeah.
To like literally be this good at passing and then setting to like literally like every pass has to be to this part of the court and then the jumps, like the way the timing, like you cannot teach another team that's been playing beach volleyball to do what they're doing. It's impossible. I mean, especially older guys, but like it's crazy. Like how long did it take to develop these guys into this?
Yeah.
It's like, you need to start doing this when you're 14 so you can actually do it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. And I think you need to have a certain coordination and skill set to be able to do it. Like some things you can't, and athletic ability you can't really teach. Because their coordination and body control and awareness is, they have that sixth sense with themselves.
Well, it's just a timing thing. You're timing to set a ball or you're timing to hit a ball. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
But then you take like even an indoor setter, like people can set balls, but you go indoors and the ball's getting passed, literally overpasses, and these guys are setting that, like flicking it around.
Mm-hmm.
Not just any player can go do that. It's like a particular timing that comes with it.
Yeah.
So now if you have built up years and years of reps, like you're going to completely change your hitting timing to be a jump setter and all that. But this is just their foundational. This is just what they do.
Yeah.
Like their timing is for jump setting, period. And yeah, I just don't, at some point in your career, it's not worth trying to backtrack and like figure that out.
Yeah.
But I do think
you can adapt a little bit.
In 10 years, it's not going to be a big deal at all. Like,
Right.
I remember I did one jump set where I got the guy to bite in Stavanger, got Haydn nobody up, and I posted it on Instagram. I was like stoked. I was like, that was dope.
Yeah.
It was like a big deal, worthy of posting. Now it would be embarrassing if I post that same thing where Haydn just kind of slapped it down.
Yeah,
like,
these
look
guys
at
are
that
just
jump
destroying
set.
balls.
Haha.
Yeah.
But it was like sweet back then.
We had that fan question episode where someone said who invented jump setting, and so we need to do our giveaway, by the way. But I got probably 20 to 30 messages. These Australian brothers. I don't know if you get the Slack brothers. Slackers.
Yeah, I remember
Something
that.
like
Slack, or it was like there's two. Was it brothers or was it?
I think brothers.
The Australians used to always do it too.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to make that a thing.
Well,
but
they were doing that crazy, like way
Spread.
different system, spread system.
Yeah. But as far as I can tell, that they were the ones who invented it, because that was the earliest
like
clip
making that an offense.
Yeah, that was the earliest, because we asked our listeners to send us the earliest clip they could find, and probably about 30 people sent me the same clip of these Australian brothers.
But were they side setting though, or were they just facing? Like,
It was pretty straightforward.
Well, you weren't
so it's
allowed
like
to side set
when they,
quite as
when
much.
they were doing it. I remember playing them back in like 2013, 14, those years, and it was easy to tell when they weren't hitting.
Yeah.
It was kind of easy, and then they would just make a lot of errors.
Yeah.
And then they would have one tournament where they went off, and like, I was like, "What? They're amazing!" And then they didn't have the consistency, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
But that is true. That was kind of
Did Kappa McHugh do that?
Yeah, they
a
did
little
it
bit?
too. Like a lot of them used to do it, and the Australians still jump set a decent amount. But
Yeah.
I think
the timing and the deceivingness of it is uncomparable.
Yeah, the deception. Miles Partain's the only one I think who comes close to
Partain
that,
can
having
do
that
it.
deception,
He can
because
do
he
it.
holds it, and then on his way down he just flicks
But he's
it.
a lefty, which helps because
Yeah.
he doesn't have to do the side set
and
as
an-
much either,
and
right?
an indoor setter.
And an
So
indoor
this is
setter,
what he
but like
does.
Right.
But he grew up doing this too. Like,
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
a beach player since he was a kid, so it's
Yeah.
like for him it was natural to do this.
I agree that he's on that.
He's on the
level.
Sweden
level.
style level, yeah, for sure.
But I think those are the only three. Every time
Yeah.
I'm watching someone else jump set,
That can-
I'm like,
yeah.
and it was pretty easy to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, to be a right-handed right side in jump setting like that, and having that option is like it's mind blowing
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, I saw Phil do a jump set in Miami, maybe.
Did
you
he?
see that?
No.
I think it was on Troy's Instagram. He
Okay.
was trying to get him to jump set or something.
Phil's
But it
like,
looked just awkward. It was like he was up, and then as he's like landing, he like sets it, and then Troy puts it away. But it was like, it just looked funny.
you
I was
talk
like,
to
that just
Phil,
looked
and
funny.
he's like, I'm so glad I'm retired with all these jump setters. And it's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the game, we were just talking about today, the game is completely going away from these big dominant blockers who just set up well, which is the epitome of Phil Bauhaus. Not that he wouldn't be good anyway, he would be, but he was the best at lining up and just pressing on you. And you can't do that anymore. You have to. It's who's going to be the biggest, but also moving laterally as well.
Yeah.
So the average like top blocker, in my opinion, actually just like dropped down an inch, which is cool for me. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot more work.
It's like it's kind of like the up and down of the NBA, where you had like the Shaquille O'Neal era where it just went bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just had these monsters in the paint, and then people started shooting threes, and you had these like stretch fours, and now you got 7-foot point guards and Giannis.
Now we got big defenders, right?
Yeah.
Where you have a taller defender than the blocker.
Yeah.
In some teams.
Yeah. It's like this unicorn era.
Yeah. You're the same height as me?
Yeah, we're about the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 6'5"-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6'5".
It's fun to watch the world just it adapts.
Totally.
Yeah.
It goes big, let's go fast. It goes
It's like
fast.
we're gonna get. Now you need more ball control because this is happening. Serving's changing, so you need to be able to pass the ball, and so the big guys are starting to get. Yeah.
I actually feel like it's moving, in some ways, moving back for me personally, like a little more towards what I would be better at in some ways, because it's getting to the smaller blocker.
Right.
Well, you and Haydn
side
were
out
kinda,
ways. I don't know.
You and Haydn were kind of running that offense where you're like
That's
doing
true. We were
options,
pretty
fast plays.
Yeah, we did some
and
fast
you were
stuff.
kind of one of the first teams to really like Haydn was one of the first players to really.
I didn't really do
used
it.
to run all that stuff.
I didn't make him shoot me, but like the option, I was always just loaded.
But he was just always ready
And
to
then
be
he'd
like
shoot
the
really
most efficient way to score possible.
Exactly.
So it's like I'm gonna make it. You do it, so I don't have to. do it.
Yeah, right.
Like he's like you could just see he didn't
I
want to be
jump
the one.
serve, block, and hit it on two.
Yeah.
I'm a little gassed here. Can you just chip one down?
Yeah. Cut shot. I'm only gonna option you if I'm digging a cut shot.
Oh, for sure. If there's a cutty and I know he's supposed to be on it, I'm just landing like
Yeah.
with
Just
my
ready
arm
to go.
open. Yeah.
I don't know how many swings
But
I have left in this.
I've
shoulder.
never seen anyone so accurate with it. It's insane. Like I probably I just expected Trevor to be able to do it. I was just like, I'm here. And he's like, no, I'm just like pass it high, set me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but I'm here. I'm ready. Like that's actually a really small window. I just didn't realize for how much people give Haydn crap for his bump setting location. Like his trans bump setting is better than anyone.
Yeah.
And soft block bump setting.
Soft
Yeah.
bump,
He knows where to.
That's where Amon
Throw it.
is unbelievable
Oh, yeah,
too.
those guys are
His
nuts.
soft block setting is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like in system. It's like soft block, shoot to the pin, done, bam.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Jeez.
That's another one of those smaller teams that's not like that. Just their ball control has gotten so much better, and they move the ball around, and it's like that's the way it's going. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I think it's trending well for you guys. But that was my alarm,
yeah.
5:38.
Yeah, I got some treatment. I had to
Nice.
sign up for last second. Get some needles in my neck.
Keep the boys healthy.
Sounds
You guys
great.
leave in what, 3 days?
Yeah, we leave on
Or
Monday.
Monday.
It's
What's
Friday.
today?
Thursday. It's Thursday. Yeah, we got a few more days.
a few more days, get a little healthier, stronger, and
There you go.
ready to do some damage there at Itapema.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
buddy.
Third time going there. It's
Nice.
a fun place to play.
It
I
is.
like playing there, actually.
I love Brazil. Have fun down there.
Yeah, it is awesome. Get some acai when we land.
Dude, I
There you
know.
go.
I wish we were in Rio. Get some waves.
Well,
That's some of the best
and you're
waves
missing
I've had on.
Sakurama's in Rio, right?
Sakurama's the one. We got our
Oh.
layered board shorts now. So actually wearing board short. When we were with Legends, it was like the scruffy pants.
Yeah.
So you can't go in the ocean. You can't body surf in them.
Yeah.
Now we got like legit built to surf apparel, which I'm stoked about.
Turns out
Thank you, Kane, for bringing me on board with that one.
Turns out when you're wearing layered board shorts, it doesn't make you a good surfer automatically.
We tried that in
I
Hawaii.
learned that the hard way.
He almost drowned.
I almost basically tried taking me out surfing when we were in Hawaii doing a little
Yeah.
pre-training camp.
Yeah.
And he just basically carried me. We went so far out, and he carried me at Outrigger Club.
Yeah.
And,
Granted, it was like the third workout of the
dude,
day.
we had been working
Yeah.
And I
out
was like,
all
let's just
day.
go get you one.
Yeah.
My shoulders, we paddled all the way out. My shoulders are just completely dead, and I'm like trying to get up on these waves. And I got up for the first time in my life, but it's like just fully like lifting the board, just like all
Just
this muscle,
throwing
just
you
like
into it.
Go.
And I'm like, whoa, I got speed. And then I stood up and I was like, I'm doing it. Like that probably looked amazing. It was probably like the worst run ever. People were like, who is that guy?
That part was good, but the part where I was like, ooh, yeah, I kind of got you in the impact zone here. You're just going to have to take these on the head.
Yeah.
And then
You're
he
like,
was
"Sorry,
so
boss."
tired. At one point, he just kind of like was above, and he just kind of seemed like he let himself go under. And I was like,
I'm done.
I was just sitting on my board above him, just like, give you 3 seconds to pop back up before I grab you. He's like, I'm good. And then
coming?
crawls back up on the board.
That was gnarly.
Dude, I'm excited to get him in Laird
The
and Gabby's
workouts?
pool.
Hell
to see
yeah.
how
Yeah.
that goes.
Yeah.
I know we've been trying to set that up. That's going to happen.
They're fun workouts.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be funny with like because you were at least a swimmer, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm really comfortable with
Okay,
water.
I'm not terrible at water person.
no, I'm hoping it could be hilarious. So just make sure I bring
Just
a
like
camera.
puts the weight. They strap the weight on me. I just go down the first time, and then I never came back up.
Laird, go get him. Go get him,
Did,
Aquaman.
did he sign the waiver or no?
Laird, I kind of need that guy. Can you go get him?
Yeah. Laird will be
You're just at
stoked.
the bottom, like
He'll just foil his way. Somehow foil down.
somehow, yeah.
He's foiling in his pool.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
Right on.
Love it. That was fun.
Try, go get healthy. Go kick
will.
ass in Itapema,
Thanks for
boys.
having me, guys.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Yeah, your
See you next year.
First time as a team.
cool. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be a regular here now.
Yeah,
so
you'll be on a lot now.
Yeah.
I'll just be an extra.
Every time you guys win, so hopefully a lot.
All right, we'll
Yeah,
see
that's
you
true.
in a couple weeks.
See you in a
maybe.
couple weeks. Let's
Ooh,
go.
I like that.
Let's go.
Shoots.
Shoots.